Listen closely, because what I'm about to tell you will protect you from people who smile to your face but secretly pull strings behind your back. Manipulators don't always come with a warning label. They don't announce their intentions. Instead, they use questions. Questions that seem harmless on the surface, but are designed to control you, corner you, or make you doubt yourself. And if you don't recognize these questions for what they are, you'll walk straight into their trap. So let's break it down. Question 1. Why would you do that? On the surface, it sounds simple, almost harmless. But let me tell you, this is not curiosity. This is control. When someone asks, why would you do that? What they're really saying is, I don't approve. Defend yourself to me. Prove your decision has value. It's a subtle way to shift the balance of power. Suddenly, you're not standing tall in your choice. You're sitting in a courtroom, on trial, explaining yourself to someone who thinks they have authority over your life. The manipulator isn't looking for truth. They aren't seeking clarity. They're trying to plant a seed of doubt inside your mind. And if you allow it, you'll start replaying your choices, second-guessing what felt right to you. But here's the truth. You don't need to justify your decisions to everyone. People who respect you don't demand explanations. They support your growth, even if they don't understand it. So the next time someone hits you with, why would you do that? Remember, it's not a question, it's a challenge. Stand firm, own your choice, because you don't owe your life's blueprint to those trying to hold the pen. Question 2. Don't you trust me? This is one of the most dangerous questions you'll ever hear. At first, it sounds like vulnerability, like someone opening their heart, asking for reassurance, but don't be fooled. This is not a request for trust, it's an attack, it's emotional blackmail. When someone asks, don't you trust me? They aren't really asking about trust, they're making you feel guilty. They're flipping the script, so instead of focusing on their behavior, you're suddenly questioning your loyalty. It's a trap designed to silence your instincts. Because here's the truth, trust is not demanded, trust is earned. And when someone tries to force it with guilt, it's usually because they know they've given you reasons not to trust them. Think about it. A trustworthy person never has to ask this question. They live in such a way that their integrity speaks for them. But manipulators, they weaponize guilt. They use your kindness against you. The next time you hear, don't you trust me? Flip it back in your mind. Ask yourself, what have they done to prove I should? If the answer is nothing, or worse, if the answer is betrayal, then you already know the truth. Don't let guilt rewrite your instincts. Question 3. Are you really going to do that? This question drips with doubt. Listen to the tone. It's not curiosity. It's disapproval wrapped in disbelief. Are you really going to do that? Is a calculated strike designed to make you second-guess yourself. Suddenly, the confidence you had in your decision starts to wobble. That little voice of certainty in your head gets drowned out by their voice of judgment. Why do manipulators ask this? Because they don't want you to follow through. They want to keep you in a box, predictable, controllable, small. When you step outside of what they expect, it threatens their control. So they use this question like a leash, tugging you back into doubt. But here's the reality. Your life is yours. Your decisions are yours. The people who respect you will support your choices, even if they disagree. The people who want to control you will always question your confidence. So when someone asks, are you really going to do that? Stand taller. Say yes with more certainty. Because the only reason they're asking is that deep down, they know your power frightens them. Question 4. Who do you think you are? This question is poison. It's not curiosity. It's not wonder. It's venom meant to slice through your confidence like a blade. Who do you think you are? Is the question of someone who feels threatened by your growth, by your courage, by your refusal to stay small. Think about it. Nobody asks this when you're shrinking, when you're silent, when you're doing what they expect. No, they only ask this when you rise, when you set boundaries, when you decide you're worthy of more. That's when the attacks come. But here's the truth. They ask this because they're afraid. Your growth shines a light on their stagnation. Your strength exposes their weakness. Your courage reminds them of the fear they never conquered. And instead of rising with you, they'd rather drag you back down. So the next time someone spits, who do you think you are? Look them in the eye and answer silently, with your actions, your confidence, your unapologetic presence. Because the moment you stop shrinking to fit their comfort, you step fully into who you were always meant to be. Question 5. If you really cared about me, you would. This is the crown jewel of manipulation. The ultimate emotional trap. On the surface, it sounds like love, like connection. But don't be fooled. This question isn't about love, it's about control. When someone says, if you really cared about me, you would, what they're doing is forcing you into a corner. They're making your love, your loyalty, your friendship conditional on their terms. Suddenly, your worth to them is measured by how much you sacrifice, how much you bend, how much you abandon yourself to prove devotion. But let's get one thing straight. Real love doesn't require guilt. Real care doesn't demand proof. Real relationships don't chain you to someone else's demands. Manipulators weaponize your heart against you because they know you care, they know you want to be there, and they exploit it. The truth? If someone needs to trap you with this question, it's not love, it's control. And love that demands proof through manipulation isn't love at all, it's a leash. So when you hear, if you really cared about me, you would, pause. Remember, your value isn't measured by your willingness to be controlled. Walk away from that chain. Final words. Manipulators thrive in silence, in your hesitation, in your willingness to explain, defend, and shrink. But now you know their weapons. 5 simple questions that cut deep, twist your emotions, and steal your power if you let them. The moment you recognize these traps, you take back control. You no longer owe explanations. You no longer bow to guilt. You no longer doubt your own strength. Remember this: real love doesn't manipulate, real respect doesn't control, and real trust doesn't demand. Stand tall, stay firm, and never let anyone rewrite the story of your worth.